beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio.
Yeah, baby. Yes, that's a happy sound for all of us.
For all of us.
Because that means there's a new tripod.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everybody. That lovely voice you hear is the one and only Sarah Tiana.
And that sweet, sweet voice you hear is Mr. John Reep.
Ooh, thank you.
JONREEP.
That's right. And so in this episode, I did an interview with a guy I've known for a long. You know Darren Carter?
Of course, the party starter.
He's the party starter. I didn't get to that question. I was going to ask him like
how it started.
Yeah, why? I mean, just because it rhymes.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Maybe I'll do a follow up with him and go like, I mean, is that your nickname only because it rhymes?
Yeah.
Like I knew a man that, because Darren doesn't party. Like,
right.
He just drinks coffee.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
he's a total dad.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
so
a total dad.
We'll have to figure that one out.
I always like, because Darren is always like, I like my women like I like my.
Yes.
And then people can shout out anything,
Uh-huh.
and then he
comes
joke
up with a
about
thing.
it, which
How
is
long
so
have you
smart.
known? How long have you known him?
Since I started.
Yeah.
Yeah, 15 years.
I came out here and he was one of the guys. Remember the Dublin days?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was one of the few people that could crush that place,
Yeah.
along with Dane Cook, and Alonzo Bowden and all those guys. Yeah.
So that's where I kind of ran into him. I'm like, oh, okay, I like this guy. And he's very friendly.
And where'd you talk to him?
Here. He came
At
over to
your
my
house?
Yeah, he came here and we
You let him
recorded.
come over to your house? What'd he take?
Darren?
Did he take anything?
No, does he? Is he a thief?
No.
Okay. I was like, oh, there's something I don't know. No, he did
No,
use the
he's a
bathroom a
total
lot.
dad.
I haven't actually went in there and checked the medicine cabinet. Who knows? I might be down some
Of course, I use
Levitra.
the bathroom when I'm here like so many times, so I totally get it well.
But we did talk about our, our ginger problems. Being ginger in this town. And all kinds of stuff. So before we get to that, anything you want to plug real quick?
Well, this week I'm at Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, which is apparently the largest casino in the country.
You're going to love it.
I'm very excited to do it. And next week I will be at the DVE Fest in Pittsburgh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I am going to be in town for a while. My next gig is not until July. And so, yeah, July 20 through 21, I'll be at a casino as well in Temecula called Pachanga.
Ah, that's a great one.
That's fun. It's close. Just go down there, down and back. And then I'll be in Denver at the Comedy Works. That's the one that's at the Landmark there, the Comedy Works north or south. It's not the one downtown. Anyway, that'll be July 27 through 29. So come
That's
see
fun.
me. Yeah,
I will
looking
have just
forward to
been
that.
I'll be getting off the Comedy Central roast, so I will probably have lots of jokes to
Oh,
tell
good.
you that didn't make it.
Oh, good. Maybe you can save them for me for the next time I bomb in front of the WME people.
I just did the MTV Movie and TV Awards. We just wrapped that on Saturday.
Nice.
It aired last night with Tiffany Haddish.
Oh, yeah. How'd that
Yeah.
go? I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they're replaying it every possible second on
Right.
MTV.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah, it was great. It was an incredibly awesome experience.
Did you get a lot of your stuff make it onto the show?
Yeah.
Good.
Tons.
Oh, good. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I can't wait to watch it and figure out which ones you wrote and which ones other people wrote.
I can
It's a
tell
fun
you,
way.
yeah.
Okay.
There were a lot of fun ones.
Well, everybody, enjoy this little interview I did with Darren Carter, the party starter. Ladies and gentlemen, I am sitting here with a man I've known quite for some time now. One of the first comics I met out here in Los Angeles, one of the Dublin guys, also a fellow ginger, very funny man. Clapping your heads for Darren Carter right now.
Clap in your head.
Yes, right now they're clapping in their heads. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? By the way, I was going to say, how would you do a sound effect of a clapping in your head? But then I realized, I read this online. You can, if you take your finger and you poke it in your ear and you wiggle it up and down, it sounds like Pac-Man.
I'm going to do it right now.
Do it right now.
Oh, my God, it does.
Doesn't it?
Sounds exactly like Pac-Man. Oh, man.
And for you ladies, it'd be Ms. Pac-Man.
Yes. We don't want to put a pronoun on it.
Yeah, but it's true, though. Like, I was like, well, it actually worked. You know?
So maybe that's what they should do.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do that. Let's just Pac-Man out right here. Yeah, but I'm trying to think. So I moved out here, I want to say 2000. Yeah, October of 2000. And I ran into you probably around 2001 or 2, somewhere at the Comedy Store or Dublin's.
Is that probably where it was or not?
No, you know what?
Yeah.
It was college stuff.
I want to say NACA. Some of those
It was
Was it a
NACA.
national NACA conference? Because I was with at the time APA, and I think it was. I saw you and another great. It was Jeff Richards.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I want to think. Was it? I'm not sure.
Maybe.
At a
What about
conference.
Buzz Sutherland?
Buzz Sutherland?
Yeah. Could it have
dude.
been him?
No, it wasn't Buzz. But remember that guy? Yeah, he would always close on the
Donald Duck. Yeah. he was killing the college scene for a while.
You think
Buzz
he's still
Sutherland.
doing it or no? Or doing colleges?
You know what I think he did? He
Yeah.
transitioned to corporate guy.
Nice.
Like he
Smart.
went from I'm going to be the college guy for
Yeah.
as long as I can.
Yeah.
And then he
Yeah.
realized, well, I'll get a little old for that.
Yeah.
But he slowly transitioned. Everything was different now on his website. Everything.
Oh, interesting.
It's all
Smart.
corporate. He's in a suit
Yeah.
and like, very businessy.
I wonder
Yeah.
how does he do that? I wonder how he does that.
I could never. My dad could do a perfect Donald Duck.
Oh,
I could
yeah.
never do it. Can you
Yeah.
do it?
I can just do that, but I can't talk like it. I can't say like. Yeah, it doesn't even
I
make
can't.
sense.
Yeah. No, there's that disco duck.
Yeah,
Rick Dees
disco,
did.
yeah.
But he would do the same duck noise. There are a certain handful of people who can do that. I'm not one of them.
Yeah,
I can do a good Wookiee.
Let me hear your Wookiee.
No,
That's
not
good.
that great.
That's good.
It's okay.
That's
I've done
good.
better. I'm
That's good.
embarrassed now.
That's not bad. I learned how to scratch a record, but this guy taught me. It's called the crab scratch, where you go. Right there.
Oh,
You go like
you just. What are you doing?
You fold your thumb over to your index finger and then you breathe in. So you go.
Oh, I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah, like this. And it's better if it's on like the hi hat part of the song. So.
Yeah,
yeah.
that sounds good. I know you can't hear it.
I
'cause
can't
you're-
hear it, but it's-
no, but it
yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah, but I remember I did a gig a long time ago with Buzz, and it was funny. And he didn't like me at first. He didn't know me. He was just kind of.
Oh, he wasn't nice to me at first
he
either.
just, I guess was, I'm not telling tales out of school, but he's kind of bitter at the time.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like just probably making a lot of money.
Right.
And just traveling and doing the same act or whatever.
Sure.
He gave me a lot of tips though. He said, "Well, I don't want to give away too many secrets, but."
Well, it's okay. It's just me and you.
All right, cool. but he told me, okay, I can tell he's there. I mean, they're nothing too crazy, but well, here's the thing. He saw both of our checks, and he goes, and he was pissed, and he goes, you're getting more money, so you're headlining, and almost like, good luck following me, buddy. You know what I mean? Like that kind of vibe,
Was he being serious, you think? Was he
Yeah.
like being like sarcastic,
I think
like going out of it, like pretending to be that kind of
I don't
person?
know. I think he's
because some
being-
people do that.
I think he was being serious, but it was
Yeah.
the school was in New Mexico, and there was a lot of Latinos in the audience, and I
Yeah.
have a lot of Latino material at the time that I
Right.
could really relate. And talking about growing up in Fresno and what's up, Rooster? Can I do my homework, stupid? You're like a retarded, Rooster, bro. How come I got F? Say you need to get a tutor, whatever.
That's perfect.
It was just killing, and then so it was great because he gave me a lot of attitude. But then afterwards, he was cool with me. It was
yeah?
almost like I got jumped into the gang or something. Almost like, okay, this guy's good.
Yeah, he had to see you first.
Yeah, but he gave me all kinds of cool tips. Like he was like, well, number one, he was like, dude, I forget how he talked, but he was just like, basically, like he's like, I haven't written a new joke since 1986. Like that's what he said. Yeah. But almost like he was bragging, like these,
Right.
like these suckers, they don't know. Like
He says stuff like,
yeah, what do you tell
don't
you?
let, he'd say, and this is what he said, fuck the game, don't let the game fuck you. Like, I'm not working as hard as everybody else. I've got the niche.
Oh, that's good.
I'm milking the crap out of this. The first time he met me,
Yeah.
and he was, ladies and gentlemen, look up Buzz Sutherland. This guy owned the college market for many years.
Yeah.
He was the
Yeah.
guy. I
Yeah.
mean, he did so well. He knew, like, when you went to a college to make friends with that student activities
Oh
board,
yeah, that's what these are
he
some
would
of the tips
hang
he
out
gave me.
with them. He would pay all their, it's one of
Yeah.
his tips.
Yeah,
Yeah, I learned that from him, too.
These were his tips. He goes, okay, when you get to school, he goes, you're not going to want to do a bunch of small talk with these kids. So what you want to do is you want to sit in the back seat, okay? When they pick you up, you guys, you'd be like, you guys, go ahead, sit up there. And then he goes, I sit in the back seat. I'm just going to go over my notes, man, because I want to put on a good show for you guys. Let me go over my notes. And that way, when they try, like, hey, how long you been doing this? And all these questions they've been peppering you with for like, a million times. You just act like you can't hear it because like the wind is blowing, and the car seat be like, I can't hear you. He goes, and then when you get to the school, He goes, "Hey, are there any important announcements?" And he goes, "Give me like 2 or 3 things you'd like me to announce." And he goes, "And then what you do is it shows that you're there to help them. And then when they want to come over and do small talk with you, you'd be like, excuse me, I want to go over these notes so I can memorize them so I can put them on for my show." Because then I'd hide backstage and I would, they think I'm going over the notes.
So his tips were on how to avoid them.
Yes, how to be friendly, but how to avoid them.
Appear friendly. And busy and hardworking. For their advantage. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. He's like the equivalent of like a blue collar worker who's like, you want to walk around with a ladder at all times.
He put more effort into avoiding them than his act.
Yeah, exactly.
If he had to put that energy into a new
I've been
joke.
avoiding them since 1986.
When I first met him, because I knew he was a legend, I said, "Hey, bud," and I was like this bright-eyed. I was like, "I think everybody's." To me, it was all one fraternity, and we're all brothers. And everybody's going to help each other. That was dumb to think, but I go. I said, "Hey, Buzz, I'm new at this college game. You got any advice or tips?" And he looked at me. He's like, "Yeah, take 2 weeks off and then quit."
Damn.
Yeah, and then walked away.
That's really funny.
It is funny. Yeah, it was very
2 weeks off and then quit.
I guess he looked at it as like another.
I want to use that line on someone just as a joke.
Yeah. Just take 2 weeks off and then just stop.
Oh my God!
Don't come back to this.
I can't even imagine a guy like him in the world that we live in now with like Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and you know what I mean, like podcasting. I do not see him a guy. Now I'm not saying him. I'm saying guys that thought like that were like that, like those salty veterans that have been around. You know?
But then but like you, he warmed up to me.
Okay,
after my set, and he was nice, and I've actually hung out with him several times. Did some gigs with him here and there. So then his name was Buzz Sutherland for a reason.
Oh.
Buzz was the guy that would get buzzed. Whatever drug you can imagine. He did a lot of that stuff.
Since 1986.
It's the same Buzz. He's never gotten... No, but he... I remember one time, we had... staying in the same hotel, 2 different rooms. We were going to ride together or something like that. And I went over to his room to see if he was ready. And his room was kind of messy. And he goes, "How do you want to feel?" I said, "Huh?" He said, "How do you want to feel?" I said, and then he pulls out a tackle box and he opens it up, and there's like, how tackle box has different little compartments? Each compartment had a different drug.
Wow.
And he goes, "I got this, I got this." I was like, "Oh my God."
Wow.
I was like, "I'm good for now." But good to know. But that was his nickname, Buzz Sutherland.
Wow,
he talked about it on stage.
Yeah, he told me he had flipped over like 3 rental cars. So he's like...
Because he said he always got the insurance, and he just didn't care.
That's what he told me.
Yeah,
because he's flipped over 3 rental cars. But maybe now you know the rest of the story.
Yeah, he was funny though. It just anybody can be very funny if you do the same thing for a long time. I've been guilty of that for a couple times, but So there, ladies and gentlemen, there's your Buzz Sutherland recap.
That's right.
We've got to Google him and see what he's up to. That's your homework, audience. You do that, and then you tweet me or Darren Carter here. Darren, I want to inform these people about you.
Thank you, man.
Where are you born and raised?
Born and raised in Fresno, California. It's like the Midwest of California. If you guys ever, it's like they used to call it the breadbasket of the world.
Okay.
I mean, it's I grew up in a blue-collar neighborhood. That's why I can do the Latino voices really well. It's like the school I went to. Shout out to Roosevelt. I still get those people. It's great. Like the people it's kind of funny. There's like a 10-year period where you're like, whatever about high school. And then as you guys all get older and you're like, damn, that's kind of cool. We're all still around, It's like, and then, we become like, friends online and stuff, I
still get random love and shout outs from people I went to high school with. They're just, "I'm just happy to see you still wearing that hat."
Yeah.
Or like something with a certain hometown logo on it. So, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So I started out there and...
Did you start... born and raised.
Born and raised.
Fresno. Now, you said blue collar. Are you like... I know you're a ginger. I'm a ginger.
Yeah.
You probably didn't see a lot of other gingers around.
Not at all, especially out here in California.
It's a rare breed, especially out here.
It is. I was going to ask you about that. So, did they used to tease you and stuff? I'm sure they did, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never really talked about it on stage till the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, here's an avenue I've never really went down. So I have this. I can talk about it as well. And so one thing, and one of the things I talk about is the different nicknames or
Yeah.
slurs.
I'm
that
sorry.
we
Do
were
you know
called.
Robert Hawkins?
Maybe.
He's another redhead. He and I kind of look like each other a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Like I almost I met with his management company about 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And they were like, the guy was like, you know what? I have a client. You guys almost look like each other. I kind of don't, I was like, damn. And then it was Robert Hawkins. I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of see that. And I saw Robert about 3 years ago at the Comedy Magic Club, and he goes, and he's bald. And now I'm bald now too. I shave my head. And he's like, he goes, I almost feel like we're out of the club now, man. We're getting out of the ginger club. I'm like, I know, it's kind of weird, right? Like your whole life you've been identifying as this one thing, and then it's just
And now it's because the hair's gone.
and I'm like, but some people can still tell,
The skin.
I guess.
Yeah.
The skin, but it's like, and then other people don't know until I bring it up. So
Right.
it's kind of weird. Like I
The color of the hair never bothered me.
Yeah.
It was more about the fact that I have these freckles and I can't tan. I actually have to be careful.
Yes.
When I go out in the daytime.
Oh, I know.
I hated the prep for that crap.
I know, the sunscreen, the hats. I was walking down the street today, and this lady told me I should wear sunglasses because the sun, your eyes can get sunburned.
We're supposed to be extra sensitive to
the
it.
retinas and stuff, and then you could get more. She said you can get your retinas sunburned, and like you can get easier susceptible to cataracts. And
I believe it.
Gosh, and I'm like, well, I have a hat on, but
Yeah.
Anyway, so what I really appreciate the other day when you took that photo, and you're like the Ginger Crew. I'm like, yes, I'm still in the club.
Oh yeah, I mean, you have albums about that stuff.
I do. My second one was called "That Ginger's Crazy."
That Ginger's Crazy. I remember one of my favorite jokes about you. You said you were going to start a gang. Call it the Shady Side.
Yeah, the Shady Side. From the Shady Side.
I'm on the east side. I'm from the west side. I'm from the Shady Side.
Yeah.
Go get the
We
shade.
stay inside. Can we get sunburned when we go outside? We from the Shady Side. Yeah.
But as a ginger, I love watching you. I'm thinking like, good.
Yes.
Good. Yes. That's funny.
Yeah. So tell me, what do you?
Well, the slurs is one of the things I talk about.
Yeah,
like
what happened?
We got red the pimple head.
Oh, see, I got red, peed the bed, wiped it up with gingerbread.
That's more clever. We weren't that clever where I'm from.
How about this one? Oh, go ahead.
We should go back and forth.
Yeah. Okay. Go next.
Okay. Red the pimple head. I said that one. Then there was
that's a good one.
Red on the head, like a dick on a dog.
Yep.
You got that one?
Yeah, got that one. I also got red on the noodle, like a pecker on a
poodle. Yes. So I talk about that. I remember when I first heard that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, first of all, South Park, Kick a Ginger Day.
Yes.
We've had to deal with that.
Yes.
Kick a Ginger Day.
I know.
Then you got...
I know. Then they switched it to Hug a Ginger. I mean, some people are trying, but it's like...
And then I talk about the sperm bank, how it's like...
Oh, yeah, that's true. People saying that article, And
it keeps flipping back and forth, how we want more ginger sperm, how we don't need any ginger sperm. I see different stories all the time.
They said that women don't want it. They're like, anything but a ginger sperm. It's like, gosh.
So I talk about that stuff. But the I remember when I heard red on the head like a dick on a dog, I think I was like 9 years old, and some older girl, teenager girl, looked at me. I came out of a matinee movie theater, and it was a bright sunny day, and my hair was on fire, and I sneezed right away, so my hair was flying around. And this girl was like, red on the head like a dick on a dog. And I was like, what? I just made me I'm not even the dog in this situation. I'm the dog's dick.
You're like, damn.
The dog is literally a step above.
Oh, my
We're
God.
down here where the balls are.
Yeah, and your eyes are watering, you're sneezing.
Yes,
and you're
what the hell? I don't know where that came from. I mean, I think there's history there. I think there's actually more lyrics to that. Like red on the head, like a dick on a dog, and like how you had other things to go with. Red the pimple head. I think there's more to that one, and people have told me, and I've already forgotten what it was because I don't want to remember.
Yeah, I was in Canada once, and this lady gave me like this whole limerick thing. Her and her mom.
Yeah, about that one,
something like that, like the ginger nuts and the ginger. I was like, God, like it was like.
I was never called a ginger. Yeah. Until the word ginger wasn't even a thing.
Yeah, that didn't come out
until
really
recently.
Until that South Park situation, like right around there is when it started.
In fact, I like ginger, by the way.
Yeah, that sounds
way better.
Good. Yeah. Then you
gingerbread, ginger cookies.
I know.
Yeah, it's all positive stuff.
Yeah, it's positive. It's I remember doing radio and I would be like, that ginger's crazy, and then certain people would get it because they knew the whole ginger things with the redheads.
Yeah,
and they knew it was a parody of Richard Pryor's album.
Yes,
but then some people would be like. They just didn't get it. They never heard the word ginger before, so they're like, "Oh, you want to be like Gilligan's Island or something? Like that ginger's?" I'm like, "No, dude, no."
This is. I think it came from like Europe. Like
Yeah.
it's bigger in Europe. Ginger's been around a long time
Oh,
in
yeah.
Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in the South, we
I
didn't
think
know
they might even say
ginger.
ginger or something. Ginger. Is it ging? And then in Australia, they call us like orangutans or something like that.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no.
I know.
I didn't know that.
I know. It's
I've
like,
not been over there yet.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I heard, you know.
Yeah.
They'd say other things weird. Like, you know, we call it cotton candy. I think down there they call it fairy floss.
Okay.
There's all kinds of weird stuff
Well, I got to
going
get
on.
down there. Well, let's go back to Fresno, though.
But dude, yes, of course. I stuck out like a sore thumb, you know,
Right.
just with this red hair. And it was you know, the group Blondie was really popular.
Yeah.
So they would call me like Reddy and just dumb stuff that wasn't very creative. But then sometimes I remember I was telling someone the other day, I remember the first time I got called Opie Taylor.
Oh, yes.
Did you get called Opie?
Oh, sure did.
Dude, it was like I remember I was in first grade and I mean I should show you this picture. I actually look like him though because I had like the freckles and
Yeah.
I mean, I'm holding a fish. I mean, seriously, there's like a picture where I really did. I was like, wow, I really did,
holding
you
the
know,
fish
like,
and everything.
Yeah,
That's good.
I was holding the fish and just, gee paw, whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember like, yeah.
I could see it.
I was in first grade and I remember these older kids they kept going, Opie, Opie, and I remember in my mind like I hadn't seen the show. So I was like, oh, they must think I'm a third grader or somebody different. And then I remember hearing it again from some different kids. They're like, hey, Opie. And then I remember like that night, it came on at 5:30 where I grew up. They're whistling.
Yeah.
And then at the moment that Andy Griffith refers to his son, he goes, now Opie. And I was like, oh my God, my heart
That's
sunk.
where you're that's
I'm like,
that's what they were calling
that's the
me.
guy that they think I am. And I'm like, and I do look like that guy.
Yeah.
It was like, wow.
It kind of hurts.
It hurt.
It's painful. Ladies and gentlemen, don't think that this washes over us when you see us out in public and
Yeah.
you make fun of our appearance. It hurts like any other, appearance joke would.
Yeah.
If I were fat and you called me fat, I probably wouldn't like that either.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
But I even though they kind of teased me like growing up, I didn't feel that bad like from first, growing up until about sixth grade because it was the same school and those kids kind of get to know you. You know what I mean? They laugh at you, you make
Yeah.
jokes, and they're your own buddies.
Do you
It's
think that helped make
Yeah.
you the funny person that you are
I
today?
think so because I remember getting big laughs in first grade. Also, I did like some robot impression.
Yeah.
And then in third grade, I was doing like, Elvis or whatever I could do. You know what I mean? Little impressions, and then
Sure.
like, hey, he's funny. And then I guess probably we kind of look kind of funny too, in a
Yeah.
positive way. So when we react to something or make a face or a little idea, it's probably kind of funny.
Yeah,
like-
I guess it is. I don't want to know about it. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like
I do know what you mean.
As opposed to like if we were like straight laced lawyers or drill instructors for them, I don't know, or whatever.
or
but-
tan and chiseled, or
Yeah.
just something about this
Yes.
color.
Yes.
I don't know. I guess more illuminated or
Yeah,
something.
and it's also it kind of makes, especially if you're cool, if you're not like a jerk, it kind of makes you likable a little bit. I think, right? Like, haven't you ever?
yeah, you're non-threatening.
Have you ever noticed this? And for me, anyways, I noticed whenever I'd go to like an all-black neighborhood or nightclub or something, like people would kind of warm up to me pretty easily.
Yeah.
Like I think.
I have a theory, but go ahead.
Go ahead. What's your theory?
I think it's because they realize that we're the minority of the white people.
Probably.
Like
I think so. Yeah.
We're if you had to break off white people in sections,
Yes.
we're the minority.
Yeah.
Gingers.
Yes.
And we actually are.
Yeah.
Especially what color are your eyes?
Blue.
Blue-eyed ginger.
Yeah.
Well, that
Yeah.
makes you the rarest of the rare. That's 0.1%. It is of the world's
Yeah.
population. Have you done that research?
No.
People, I didn't know this crap until Facebook, and they started sending me information. Did you know this about your people? I'm like, people, it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
hair.
Exactly.
But like, I don't care, But,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now because people are forcing this information on me, I
Yep.
feel
They
like
always send us those articles.
yeah. And so, and I did the research. Is blue-eyed ginger is the rarest combo there is.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like we're 0.1% of the world's population,
My son has
which
dark-
makes us the biggest minority.
Yeah. My son has
there
darker
is.
hair and hazel eyes, so it's pretty.
Yeah, I saw pictures of your son.
Yeah.
What color is your wife's hair?
She's Armenian, so she's tan.
Oh, she's tan.
with dark curly hair, and she so she sometimes I tell her I go listen, he put sunscreen on. Oh, I already did, but then like the other day, like he had his shirt off, and we were outside walking, and after about maybe I don't know, he might have been out there for an hour 15, and he got
Right.
sunburned. Man.
Yeah?
like I was like, I mean, not real bad, like
Yeah.
Because did you ever get a really bad sunburn?
Sure.
I
Yeah.
remember the worst one I got was when I was probably. I don't know, I was probably under 10, and we went to the ocean, we went to the beach, and I remember, like, of course, you're not going to face the water because it's the glare, so I had my back to the water,
Okay.
and I'm making sandcastles and playing around, and I got such a bad sucker on the back of my neck where, like, the kind that bubbles up,
Yep, blistered.
and it blisters up, and, like, the skin peel, oh, my,
That's the worst.
yeah, I don't do that anymore.
I mean,
Now-
I've gotten like scabs and that kind of stuff.
yeah.
You know, you get so burned in your skin. I mean,
Yeah.
it's stupid, but I never wanted to do the prep work of putting all that crap on. Like when I
Yeah.
woke up
Yeah.
and it was a sunny day outside, and all my friends just run out the door.
Right.
I can't do that. Mom's like, come here.
Yeah.
You got to put this crap on, and I just fought it.
Do you put it on now? Do you put it on now?
If I know I'm going to be out in the sun for a long time, definitely I will.
I do. Sometimes
Yeah.
I don't put it on. Like today I went.
If I
down,
know I'm going to be out there for like just 5 seconds, 5 minutes, I go, I'll get a
Yeah.
little color here.
Yeah. I know. Like I walked to the store today. I went to this juice place, and I was like, it's like a 10-minute walk. You know, I mean, maybe I should have. You know, but still, I'm just like,
Yeah.
nah. But somebody told me you put it on every day. Just start your day like that. But I'm like, I don't like smelling
It's a
like
lot of work.
sunscreen.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
It smells. You can definitely smell it.
Yeah.
And if you put it, like especially for you now, if you put it on
Yeah.
your forehead, it
Oh, yeah. It's
gets
gonna
in your
drip in your
eyes.
eyes and-
That hurts.
Yeah.
So I don't. Okay. So wait. Let me back up a little bit. I love this. This is effortless.
Yeah.
With you because we
Yeah.
have so much in common. Yet we don't in a weird way because I grew up in a small town
Yeah, I know.
in North Carolina in the South, and you're like this total California guy.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know we're both funny. We're both gingers. So you think being a ginger helped? Maybe like helped you be a funnier person because you, in a weird way, for me anyway, like if you make fun of yourself first,
Yeah.
then someone else, when
Yeah.
they do it, it looks
Yeah.
lame.
Yeah.
So that was a skill, a tactic that I used, and just to get friends to like you and to try and be funny. So does that sort of fall in your wheelhouse there?
Yeah. So like growing up, I think like up until 6th grade, it was pretty much the same kids, or like
Yeah.
or like I mean, even like the football coach would be like, "Hey, Red." They used to call me Red, and
Did you play football?
I played flag football like in elementary school. you know.
Okay, yeah.
And he'd be like, "Hey, Red," and I remember thinking like it was cool because my grandpa's name was Red.
Sure.
But then I remember my mom was like, "You want to be called a color? Don't you want to be called a name? You should, She was kind of a whatever, like, But
It bothered her more than you.
yeah, for me, it didn't bug me. I was like,
Right.
"Oh no, it's cool. I'm the same nickname as my grandpa." But then I was
Yeah.
like, but it just still didn't bug me, not really. And then but I remember like what really changed was when I went to a brand new school after 6th grade. You go to the junior high where it's only 7th and 8th graders.
Yep.
And it takes, I remember we were in line, alphabetical order in PE, and we're the 7th graders. And I'm Darren Carter, so I'm like the third one.
Yep.
And these older kids are pointing over at me and laughing
Yeah.
and saying like, I thought they were making fun of the kid next to me. 'Cause I'm like, who would
Yeah.
make fun of me? That's what I'm thinking. Why
Right.
nothing to make fun of?
Yeah, I'm
I-
cool.
I totally realized. I thought that was cool. I was like,
Yeah. You've already proven yourself for 6 years in
Yes.
this other school.
Yes.
Why would anything change?
And I had glasses too. I used to wear glasses,
Okay.
and they were sort of a dark framed glass. So they were like, I remember they were like said stuff like his hair is so shiny, and I thought it was this guy next to me because he had like a greasy hairstyle, and like, and they were like, he looks like the box of cornflakes or whatever, because there's like that rooster. That's
Yes,
but I
that's-
still didn't get it, and I was thinking like, why would they say that guy looks like
Cornflakes,
cornflakes? And then they said that. He, so I'm like, he looks like Buddy Holly with those thick ass bottle glasses. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wait a second, I'm wearing glasses.
Oh boy.
See, this is how this must have been like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Or longer.
Right.
I mean, it's
How old are you?
48. I just turned 49.
Okay, I'm 46.
Yeah,
so we're
I just
close.
turned 49.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, wow. And I remember talking to this kid. It was funny. There was this kid at my church. There was Daryl and Shannon. They were both redheads, but they were more like the tough redheads, especially the older one.
The
He was-
O'Douls or whatever. O'Doyles, that's what it was.
Yeah, they were like kind of like the. I'd love to take some beach nut in that dude's eye.
Shoot him with my old 45.
And a
Country boy can survive.
Yeah. They were like, they used to like, they were like do rodeos and stuff.
Okay.
And I asked Daryl, I go, hey man, they're making fun of my red hair. Like, how long is that? And he's like, give it about 2 weeks. They'll get used to you. Don't worry about it. And I was
Oh,
like,
you had like a redhead mentor.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was great.
You had a red yoga.
Yeah.
I mean, a red, what's his, Yoda.
Like a yogi.
Yoda, yeah.
Yoda.
A red Yoda. Like,
Wait, how would it be? 2 weeks, one must wait. Oh, Ginger used to.
ignore you, they will, in 2 weeks from now.
Get you familiar. Yeah.
Well, that's crazy. Okay, that's cool.
He said, wait about 2 weeks, just let it, blah, blah, blah. And then, and it's interesting because then And then I remember, but during that time period, it probably was about 2 weeks. But there was also a time when I was walking home from school, and like the four of them were in some car, and as they're driving by, they're yelling out stupid shit, like whatever they yelled out.
Did you get Pele Rojo?
Yeah, Paley Rojo. I got that later. Or Richie Cunningham, or they yelled out something, and I remember I was down at I used to go to the YMCA. And there was this guy that was a karate guy, and I saw him stretching and doing, his katas or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to learn how to fight. And so I was talking to him.
Oh, this is great.
And the guy was like, this is my Mr. Miyagi before that Karate Kid came out.
Yeah.
And here's what he told me. Two things I remember. One, he said stretch every night. Stretch first thing in the morning, 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night. Just stretch. He goes, you might not feel it now, but as you get older, just make that a good habit. Just 15 minutes, 15 minutes. And it's great.
Yeah, I know. I need to do more of that.
You know what? It is. I don't really do it but I do think of it. I swear to God. Every time I'm stretching right before bed,
That's what every old person will tell you. It's like stretch and brush your teeth.
I know. And also, like, when you have a baby, I remember, like, my friend told me, like, he goes, that the doctor goes, look at the little baby. The first thing they do is they stretch, right?
Yeah.
Because this is natural.
When they wake up.
Cats do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I remember the stretching thing, which we should probably do that. You know what? My promise to the podcaster listeners right now.
Yes.
Let's all stretch.
Let's stretch.
Even if it's not 15 minutes, we'll do 5 minutes.
I have a certain device in my garage. I can't wait to show you.
Okay.
Because I took karate as well.
Really?
Yep. And I've got a stretch machine.
Wow.
Remember that thing you put your legs in and you crank it? And it was in my mom and dad's attic for years.
Wow.
And I went home 4 years ago.
That's cool.
I found it again. I was like, I'm shipping that to my house in California.
Nice.
Because I wanted to make an effort to stretch more.
Yeah.
And it's in the garage.
Hey, it's here, though.
I still have it. And I'll get on there sometimes. But yes, please continue.
They also have a thing called a weighted stretch, which I believe I heard it on a podcast once, Tim Ferriss podcast. He's really helpful. But I imagine that you take dumbbell. I'm looking around like you have some in the kitchen. But like, what are you getting ready to do, Darren? But I think you're like, let's say you're bending over and you're stretching, trying to touch your toes, and you take like a weight, and it kind of like it does essentially what that machine does. Like it helps you.
Where do you put the weight?
Pulls you down. I think you hold it in your hand.
Oh, so he just pulls you down.
Yes. So it's more than just hanging. Like the way to like pull you down a little bit.
Yeah.
But
so he told you to stretch,
and then also he said you don't want to go picking fights because there's 4 of these guys. They might turn you into hamburger.
Yeah.
And that was a visual that I was like, whoa.
Oh, wow. I've heard mincemeat growing up in cartoons. I'm going to make mincemeat out of you.
Yeah.
I never knew what the hell that was.
I'm going to mop the floor up with you. I'm like, I don't want to be mopped
But he said,
up.
I'm going to turn you to hamburger. You don't want to be turned to hamburger.
Yeah, you make hamburger meat out of you or whatever. I just pictured I just got that visual of like, oh, wait. Yeah, I didn't
that pink meat just getting pounded with a meat tenderizer.
Yeah. So, you know what's interesting? One of the guys that used to... he used to walk past me, because I'd walk to school or whatever.
Yeah.
He'd walk past me, and he'd always make some dumb comment or whatever.
Yeah.
And that guy's actually follow me online now.
Okay.
Like as a friend though, as friendly.
Yeah.
As friendly. You know.
I
what
think
say?
I give people a pass.
Yeah.
In my childhood that were mean to me.
Yeah.
Because I know. When you're a kid, you sort of monkey see, monkey do.
Right.
And if everyone's picking on one guy, I guess I better join in.
Yeah.
So when I look back on
it wasn't bad.
I don't really hold grudges.
Yeah.
I did for a long time. But I know that there's probably some people that I picked on who hate me.
Yeah.
And and I want to, I kind of want to tell them, hey, dude, I get it, I was once picked on, and I hope I didn't do that. I mean, I was not really a bully at all, but if there's one guy,
you might
picking on, I'll throw a funny line in there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not physical. I didn't hit anybody.
Exactly, and even the kid that walked past me, he would never, he probably doesn't even know. He would just say one word. He'd be like Opie or just redhead or walk by freckles or just some shit like that or whatever he would say, and it's funny that they that. Like you said, it's a maturity level, and you get older. You're like, you know what? Screw it, man. If someone can take the effort to follow my comedy, and because this dude will every now and then share my podcast or videos.
Well, he gets to say,
that
guy who's on TV and movies.
Yeah,
I know him.
Yeah,
we're friends.
Yeah. And I know, and I'll be like, thanks, man. Like I'm just like whatever,
Right.
Yeah.
I got called Opie as well, and my dad was a huge Andy Griffith Show fan.
I love that show.
It's one of the best shows, longest running shows ever. And so I'm talking about such a fan that he went out and bought a squad car, the exact replica of the squad car.
Wow.
And would take it to parades. And he would lead the parade. He met a lot of cast members and had them sign the dash.
Wow. Oh, yeah, because where's Mount Pilot?
It's Mount Airy, North Carolina.
Airy, North Carolina.
And that's where I was raised. I mean, Hickory's about an hour and a half from there.
Wow. I went there before and got a postcard when we did some tours.
Yeah. Well, they have a festival called Mayberry Days Festival.
Wow.
And so that's one of the ones he'd go to. And it just so happened that I was working at the time at a TV station in North Carolina. And it was on a TV show called North Carolina Now. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to put a producer hat on and tell them I think I have a great idea for a segment. It's right here in North Carolina. It's about Mayberry Days, blah, blah, blah. And they said, that's a great idea. So we go and cover it. I'm there with the film crew, and I'm in the car, shooting my dad.
Yeah.
But I forgot that I had red hair. And now I'm in this car with my dad, who's dressed up like Andy Griffith.
Yeah.
I'm obviously his son. And so I got called Opie. Right and left that day. I could not avoid it. I just owned it. I was like, yeah, I'm just like Opie. I threw some candy out the window. But
you're like, my dad's a cop, and
it's you can't beat them, join them. But yeah, that's I got called Opie a lot, and but I think it made me funny too, like what you were saying. It's sort of toughens you up, and but I never really. The sunscreen, the hair didn't bother me. My grandfather, who had the red. See, I want to know where you got your red hair from.
Grandfather, my mom and her dad. Yeah.
So your mom had red hair.
Yes, and my dad. Yeah.
Your dad had red hair too.
Yeah. I'm sorry. He had my grandpa. My dad had like reddish, a little bit
Okay.
reddish.
Yeah. My mom blonde, dad brown. My brother blonde. And then my mother's dad had the red hair.
So you were the only redhead kid in the family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did your brother used to make fun of you for that, or wasn't really?
He was younger than me, so for a long time I was in charge.
Yeah.
But then everything, because he knew it would hurt me.
Yeah.
He would say stuff every now and then.
Yeah.
But for the most part, not really, because
cool.
I would punch him in the arm really hard.
Yeah. I love it.
But it's fun. Do you have any brothers, sisters?
No.
Only
Yeah.
I can't call my younger brother little brother anymore because he started working out, and now he's just younger brother. He's not little brother.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, we came home from college. We went to 2 different colleges, and we came home to visit mom and dad, and I immediately I got home first. I've been about an hour or something, right? I take my luggage. I go straight to my room, the one I grew up in.
Yeah.
Put my bags in there. It's a little bit bigger room.
Yeah.
He comes home with his luggage. And hey, Jason's here. What's up, Jason? And he takes his luggage and goes straight to my room. Puts his luggage in there. Takes my luggage out. Puts it in his room.
His old room.
Yes, with
That's
a
weird.
smaller one.
That's weird. Yeah.
He goes. I said, Jason, what are you doing? This is my room. He goes, I think I'll stay here this time, for this weekend anyway. It's a bigger room. I'm staying here. I was like, don't be silly.
Dude, I grew up in that other room.
This is my room. I can't have this room. He goes, I'm going to stay here. I go, let's not fight. I haven't seen you in a month.
Yeah.
He goes, well, come on, bring it.
What?
Well, he had gotten bigger. He'd been working out. He's waiting for this moment.
Yeah. He'd been driving home thinking, here's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, by God, before you know it, he had me in a figure 4 or a pretzel or some shit. And,
wow.
And I was like, okay, I guess you're staying here.
Oh, my God.
That's when I realized he is just younger brother, not little brother. I'm the little brother now.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
He probably didn't even really want the room. He was just like,
it's just like
himself up. Like,
it's like, the teenage gorilla that's like pounding his chest. He's ready to roll and take on the alpha male.
Yeah.
And I was the alpha male.
You're like, what?
In that relationship.
On paper, none of that makes sense. Like, why would I want your room?
Yeah. Well, because it was a little bigger too. I think he wanted that, and I don't know. I think you're right. It's more about like, okay, I'm in charge now. So, well, we took karate classes together. What kind of karate did you take?
Oh, I didn't take karate.
Oh,
it pretty much ended right there when the guy told me that I could end up being hamburger. I was like, I'm just gonna stick to the stretching.
I'll just be funny. It's yes, I will be very limber for when I run away.
Exactly. I'll wiggle out of there, figure 8 holds.
No cramps for me.
Yeah,
that's great.
No, but I joined wrestling in 8th grade.
Oh,
I joined wrestling in 8th grade, and then I also was on the wrestling team in 9th grade, and that the ninth grade it ended though, because the weight classes, people kept dropping off, and so we were down to like 5 or 6 wrestlers.
Right,
the guys like, guys, it's a terrible day, but we're gonna have to end the wrestling program.
Yeah. Do you have a big school?
No, because that was a ninth grade.
Yeah.
So 7th and 8th was its own school.
Middle school, right?
Ninth grade was its own. It was only ninth graders there. It was close.
What?
Yeah, it was only ninth graders.
That's
yeah.
bizarre.
And it was like
So you went kindergarten to 6th grade. Then you had 7th, 8th grade different school. 9th grade, another
ninth grade,
different school?
Yeah, get on a bus, go down to the ghetto, which is pretty cool. It's surrounded by projects. Absolutely true. I remember watching Rocky 3 a lot that summer. And
Oh, man.
And it was hilarious. I thought about this the other day. Like I recorded Rocky 3 like on a tape recorder.
Yeah.
And
Via VHS tape.
no, literally like an audio tape.
Just the
so
audio
I could
of it.
listen to it.
Oh, that's great.
Just so I could listen
So you
to
just
it.
listened to the movie.
I would listen to it. Just like, absolutely. It's time I step down, retire. You know what I mean? Like, damn me.
Yeah.
I love the dialogue. I like the I love the whole Rocky. Just loved it.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the greatest films.
And I remember it's fun. What I was laughing about was I remember this girl I kind of had a crush on. I told her we were talking about Rocky 3, and I go, I love Rocky 3. She says, me too. I go, hey, I taped it, and she goes, can I borrow it? And then the look on her face when I showed her that cassette.
Sure, I
Yeah.
taped it. She's
I
thinking,
taped
well, it's
it.
obviously
Yeah.
a VHS.
Yeah,
tape.
exactly. Just like everybody that think, why would you physically hold a tape recorder up to a speaker of a television?
I know a guy who did that,
Yeah.
but he did it with Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, and you could listen to it.
He would have his tape recorder.
Yeah.
His name was Greg Hudson. He was one of my best friends growing up, in middle school.
Yeah.
And before, elementary and middle.
Yeah,
He was a neighborhood kid.
Yeah.
And so I'd hang out with him. He had the first ColecoVision and Nintendo.
Oh,
and he was pretty cool. But anyway, he loved Battlestar Galactica, and then we'd go hang out and. We'd have little TV trays. That's the first time I ever saw a TV tray. His mom would make dinner for you to sit in front of the TV.
That's
I'd never seen
awesome.
that till this family.
Yeah.
And he got his little recorder out and just recorded it. And you start talking. He's like, "Oh, hey, Greg, shh. I'm recording this." Like, "Oh, I'm sorry.
Stop it. I'm recording
Yeah.
this. Talk it commercial.
Yeah, don't talk with the Cylons."
But I remember I'd been watching that, and I was on wrestling. I was on the wrestling team, and this kid kept calling me Rooster, which years later I put that in my act. Like the whole, hey, what's
Right,
up,
I remember
Rooster?
that.
But I remember this kid kept calling me Rooster and laughing and just, he'd be, hey, Rooster! In between classes and laugh and then run off. And I was so getting pissed off. And at this point, I was probably like your younger brother. I was like, you know what? I've been in the wrestling room.
Oh, yeah.
I'm strong.
Yeah, let's go.
So yeah, I go, stop calling me Rooster or whatever. I go, after school, man, after school. And then we were gonna fight after school, but I remember it was kind of cool in a weird way. I remember doing warm ups and shit because I knew like right before the school was right before class got let out at 3.
Yep.
I excused myself to go to the bathroom and at 2:50 and I was doing jumping jacks in there and I was warming my body up.
Yeah.
I was
Stretching.
I was ready to roll, man. I was ready to. I was probably just gonna try to pin him or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
what I was gonna do.
knew some wrestling moves.
Yeah, and I wasn't very good, but I figured, I was angry, and he didn't, and I was assuming he didn't know how to.
You're like,
fight.
I'm just going to take him to the ground.
Take him to the ground, and
Yep.
I don't know. I really didn't think of it.
See what happens.
I honestly didn't even think
Right.
past that. In fact, what if the guy would have kicked me? I would have been like, "This is against the rules."
This is wrestling. We don't kick. Where's the ref?
I know. Where's the ref? I know.
Right.
It's so stupid, but I was all pumped up because this Rocky 3 movie.
Yeah, dude.
So I remember. By the way, his guy was black. His name was Larry Carter.
Okay.
And my name's Darren
Darren
Carter.
Carter.
It's a trip, right? Small world.
Wow.
And I remember Larry. See, in my act, I make the guys say Rooster. Hey, what's up, Rooster? Make him Latino. But because that kind of caught on over there. But it was more more of affection, more affectionate than nickname, But when that kid did it, it was more like just,
he was trying to hurt your feelings.
mama look like, what up, Rooster? Ah!
Yeah.
Just like,
Laughing his own joke.
yeah. Just like, I remember they'd be the crowd. I could totally picture a crowded hallway and him sticking his head up and be like, Rooster! And then just run. And
I know exactly the difference you're talking
dude,
about.
Shut up, man.
Right.
So then I was like, I remember after school, I had my friends. He had his. I really didn't have friends, but there was definitely people that were they were waiting to see a fight. They weren't real friends. They were just people
Right.
who were and then and they said that they go, hey, Larry's scared, man, because he knows you wrestle. And I was like, that's all I needed to be like, oh shit.
Okay.
So my balls got big. and I remember for some reason doing a Mr. T impression. I should have been doing the Rocky impression. But the further because it was him and his buddy. and they started walking. They started going deeper into the projects. Like I was right by the school, and they kept going further and further.
Oh,
and the further
trying to lure you down there.
I think they were just scared or something.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. He was walking away, but the further he walked away, I was like, you ain't nothing. You know, I was like, I'll kick your ass, Larry. And I was like, the further he got away, I got really like, yeah, like fuck you. You know, I don't know if I curse on this, but I was like,
yeah.
And people were like, oh, he's scared. And I was like, yeah. But guess what? Him and his buddy stopped, and then they talked to some really tall black guy with coveralls, mechanic coveralls.
Yeah.
And then they started coming back.
Oh boy.
So slowly walking back, and
Oh,
I'm
boy.
like, oh shit! And then everyone like settled down. They're like, dude, they're coming back. And then I know, and then I was like, oh. I remember this guy. I felt like he just towered over us, man, because we were like 14.
So they went and got a buddy.
Was I even 14? I might have been 13. I was whatever. Like,
Oh.
yeah, I was probably 14. He comes back. No, it turns out that was his uncle.
Yep.
He was a mechanic, just got off work, and he goes like this. He goes, which one of y'all? How do you say it? He goes, which one of y'all white boys trying to fight my nephew? Mm-hmm. Everyone got quiet. Fucking pussies. Right?
Yeah.
And they kind of like moved away from me like I had the plague. And then
Right.
like,
the seas parted. There's just one ginger there. Hi.
Oh, boy.
Oh, just trying to have a friend.
Back to my stretching. And I was like, oh, that would be me, sir. You know, I was like, and then, but I could tell actually Larry was still scared because he was like looking at his shoes and shit. He wasn't tough at all.
Yeah.
And then he goes like this. He goes, I'm gonna make y'all shake hands and make up, or I'll make y'all fight till I see blood.
Oh, wow.
I know.
That's a good uncle.
Very good. And I was just like, because I like that he gave us out.
Yep.
And I was like, he's like, you know what?
Neither one of you wanted to fight.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I go, hey, I'm sorry. You know, he stuck his hand. We both stuck our hands out. We're like, sorry, man. I just don't like being called names, and
Right.
And the guy was like, oh man, I was just playing. I was like, okay, and then that ended it. It was just like,
Wow.
thank God, because
What's the uncle's name?
I don't know.
Something Carter?
No, the kid that made fun
Larry
of me, his name was
Carter.
Larry Carter. Yeah,
We don't know this uncle's name.
I don't know, but I would see Larry after that, and he was cool.
He's
Like
cool.
I remember taking the city bus back down to the YMCA, and he was on the bus. Hey, Larry, and it was still a little weird in my mind because we almost got in a fight, but he was cool though. You know what I mean? It wasn't like
Yeah. Well, that's great.
that was a great ending because it was like that was the last time I really decided to like ever.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't need to do this shit. And actually, the very next year was 10th, 11th, and 12th was when I went to high school.
Yep.
And then once I went there, what kind of made me stand out was rapping. I started,
Right.
rapping.
I was going to say, in
Yeah.
your act, you do a great. I mean, I know you've changed it over the years, but like I remember the Snoop Dogg. You would do.
Well, yeah, what's cracking? It's the D-O-double-G, the big Snoop Dogg. Baby was a virgin, that's what she says. So I gave her some Hennessy.
If y'all could see his face,
Yeah.
his body turns in. He physically turns into Snoop Dogg.
Hey, what's cracking? Nothing to it but to do it, yeah. What's cracking?
Yeah.
And you had these one-liners that you would do, and then after each one, you would
I
play like
remember.
it was
Drop it
dun
like
dun.
it's, oh, yeah, yeah.
Dun 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 dun. Go shorty, it's your birthday. Like when that song came out
Yeah.
it was
At
around the Dublin's
Dublin's,
times.
yeah.
You'd do a joke, and the DJ would be ready to hit that bum
Yeah.
bum
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And then you go like, and then you do another joke.
I would be like, because I was trying to think, how can I make like a hip hop rim shot, like a Henny Youngman? How can I bring that? Yeah, what would I say? All those little silly things like,
Well, now you do the one about I like my women like I
yeah.
like my.
I like my women like I like my.
And you got like tons of these. I've seen the memes out there.
Yeah, those are good. Those are
Yeah.
good. Although I know, like now with everything with the women marching and stuff, I'm trying to.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like somebody hit me up.
God, you got to be so careful about everything now.
I know. They were like, "Why don't you try to make that a TV show?" And I'm like, "Dude, do you even watch the news?" I'm like, "How am I gonna?" Yeah, it's a game show called "I Like My Women." It works great.
You're like,
live.
but I have an Armenian wife and child.
Yes, it works great live,
Yeah.
but like I don't know, like even in writing it, some of the stuff like people try to give them to me, I'm like they never work. Like I don't want to even use them. 'Cause they're always. But verbally, like in the spot, it can work. Like if they say like I like my women like I like my belt, and I'll be like black and around my waist. But in writing, it might look like if you're like I like my women like I like you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
it's
kinda
like
vulgar.
this is
kinda-
how I choose to physically objectify a female.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Because I've had.
You're like,
twi-
I'm not saying that.
Yeah. Like somebody on one of my albums, they yelled out "rocket ship," and I was like blasting off to Uranus.
Boom. See? That's
Yeah.
just funny.
It was funny and it was perfect. It's like
And that was off the cuff?
off the cuff.
Oh,
man.
nice.
And I was like, yes. And then
Oh, that makes you look like a genius.
exactly. And
If
it's
you
like,
could do something that quick in front of a live audience.
oh my gosh,
It's like, oh my God, he's a god. I love those
I
moments.
know.
Have you always, okay, so how long have you been married?
20 years. It'll be 21 this August.
20 years.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
That's a very long time in this town.
Long time, man. You know what it is? It's like, it's funny because now I'm talking about like in the beginning, I would, my comedy was whatever. You know how you go through these different stages.
Sure.
But now I realize the more I just talk about what I'm going through or what, and it's, I don't know. I feel like there was a time back what you said when I was doing like the one-liners and you hit them with the dun dun.
Yeah, right.
I felt like it would get the crowd hyped and everything, but it's almost like just having frosting on birthday cake. Like in the moment,
Right.
the crowd's like, yeah,
Right.
But then I'm standing over there by the door saying goodbye to people, and they're just like, you were funny, and that's it. Like there's no connecting with the
Yeah.
heart. Like don't you find like when you,
I know what you're saying.
you know what I'm saying?
There's like
yeah.
guys who have weighted material substance to it, and I'm like this too. I just want to have a good time,
Okay, I'll give you an example.
But sometimes getting into the personal bio
I'm
of
going
you.
to grab two different bits in your mind, on my mind that I can remember that you did. Okay,
yeah, okay.
So like the angel food cake thing when you used to take your
Right,
belly,
right.
Like that's just in my, like you would.
That's just a physical goofball thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
my act would be a lot of. I felt like when it was a lot of that stuff, it's
Right.
killing, and crushing, but it's like at the end, I don't know.
It's like,
you know
who
what
is?
I mean?
I don't really know the guy.
Yeah, hey, look at my stomach, or
Yeah,
or whatever.
right.
But then when you do the bit about your dad and bees and the garden hose,
Right.
I mean that's like connecting to the heart where you're like you're just. And there's another thing I think you did about your dad and maybe like a
Well,
gun
there's
or something. or
yeah, he
the
shoots a hole through the waterbed.
Yes, I don't know how the bit goes, but stuff like that where
Yeah.
I'm like that. I like personally, I like stuff like that a lot
Yeah.
because it's like it connects with and it paints this picture of like this cool like.
I think
family
that yes,
yeah.
I'm agreeing with you, and I
Yeah.
think to add to that, like the difference between a joke teller and a storyteller.
Yeah.
And a joke teller, I admire that skill. I'm
Yeah.
not that good at it. I could dabble in it, but I'm
Yeah.
more comfortable in story time, right?
Yeah.
So when I
Yeah.
see a good joke teller, I admire that.
Yeah.
I go, that's awesome. But I don't know that guy.
Yeah.
I just know it's just some jokes.
Yeah.
And it's fun and it's killing, but I don't know him.
Yeah.
If I see a good story, especially a bio story about you and your
Yeah,
life,
yeah.
I go, now I kind of know this guy.
Yeah.
And once you hear one joke that's good, you hear it again, it doesn't have any.
Right.
You can hear the same story many times.
Yeah.
And be like, bring a friend. You got to hear him tell this,
Yeah.
this pool story.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to, I can't tell this story. I can tell a joke,
Right.
but you got to come see this guy for this story.
Yes.
So I think it lives
Yes.
longer, which is, I think I found that was a happy
Yeah.
accident on my part.
Ooh, how did it happen?
Oh, no, in the fact that stories are better for longevity.
Yeah.
Because, it kind of made me a little lazy in some aspects, too, because I didn't have to keep writing new jokes. Because people would keep coming back, even though it was the same story. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Do the story about the
and
tell us
they'll
about
get mad
yeah.
to this day if I don't do certain stories. Like if I'm doing an hour on
Yeah.
the road
Yeah.
and I don't do the dad and the pool story,
Yeah.
or sometimes we don't talk about Hemis. The Hemi, I had a whole bit about that Dodge Hemi commercial campaign. There's certain people who will come out. If I don't do those, they'll be like, "Oh, well, I brought my friend to hear that pool, and he didn't do it." I'm like, "Oh, come back tomorrow. I'll do it." So you got to remind me. But yeah, I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
Which is what you were saying. It's like, fun, physical, goofball stuff.
Yeah, and
is great live in that moment.
Yeah.
But you can walk away going like, "Well, I don't really know the guy."
Yeah, and I could change my opinion. It's time. Maybe when this thing, we'll listen to this podcast 5 years from now and be like,
"Well, it's just stupid."
After stories, it's like let's just have fun. No, but
Anybody can tell a story.
a comedian can do
it
something
tells
silly.
jokes. That's what we do is jokes.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's always changing. You never know.
Yeah, that's true. That is
you
true.
know.
So, Darren, we this time has flown by.
Wow.
I want to do another one with you at some point.
Yes.
because I have other things I want to add to
And
this.
can we let's do my podcast and so maybe people can listen to part 2.
Yeah, let's do this. Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
All right, so check this out. I'm gonna tease them.
Yes.
All right. So if you want to hear these next topics, you got to go to Darren Carter's podcast, which is
It's called Pocket Party. Pocket Party, Darren Carter.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what that's
Yeah.
about.
Yes.
So I'm going to go over to your podcast and check me out on that podcast. And I want to tell you about the time where I almost got into a fight
Tell me.
and about.
I can't wait.
Well, it was another ginger. It was a ginger on ginger crime. I also want to find out, have you always been attracted to females that are opposite looking than you, because
yeah.
I am. I'm not attracted to other
And you
female
gotta remind me
gingers.
of the reason that because I said when I go to a black room or a black nightclub, I think you did say why, but we could.
Well, I
expand
feel
on
that. Yeah, we'll do that.
Expand on that.
So that's what you got to look forward to if you just
Pocket
pop on over
party.
to Pocket Party with your man.
I'm the party starter.
Actually, I want to find out the history on that as well. All right.
Let's do it.
Thank you.
Thank you, official Darren Carter on Instagram.
Boom.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, buddy. Oh, man, so much ginger love. A lot of ginger love going
Yeah.
on.
You guys really love being gingers, and you don't love being gingers at the same
It's
time.
right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very bipolar relationship we have with our skin tones.
Well, thank you for doing that interview with him. It's always
Yeah.
fun to hear him. And
I'm going to try and start doing that more often, taking my little recorder with me, sitting with other comedians. I'm going to be in town for a while, so I might go out to the Comedy Store and just, bum rush people with a
I
microphone.
think that's a good idea. I'm going to try and do the same thing since
Okay.
you and I don't get to spend as much time together as we'd like.
Right.
So I think in order for our audiences to feel like we're still together and we still care about them, I want to do the same thing. I'm so inspired by how you do it.
Oh,
So
good.
I'm going to definitely try and do that.
Awesome. Well, where can people follow you?
Follow me on Twitter. Hopefully not to my car. That would be the best.
Right, don't do that.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, my website, sarahtiana.com. That has all my dates.
Perfect. And I'm at all things on social media is just John Reep, JONREEP, or johnreep.com. And you can follow me to my car anytime.
Happy Friday,
Happy
everybody.
Friday.
And the radio up, I like to see sunrise. See the love in my woman's eyes. Feel the touch of my precious child.